Facts First presents Psychologists warn to never say these 5 phrases to children. Any parent will say that raising a child is the most difficult job you'll ever have in life. Every single decision that a parent makes when it comes to their children is going to have a lasting effect on their children's lives. The bond between parents and children, it should be an unbreakable bond. To create that bond and to keep it alive, both parents and children need to communicate well. Well, the way a child's raised, it plays a huge role in the person that they're going to be when they grow up. And many parents walk the right path and mostly do the right things when raising their kids. Unfortunately, there's no real handbook that'll tell you how to raise your children. You just do it, hoping that you're right. Well, there are books that parents can use as a guide, and something you'll learn in these books is what not to do. And we have a list of what psychologists say you should never say to your children. First, though, help us spread the word about Facts First by clicking that like button. And also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Number 1. Boys or girls are never afraid. Well, that's not true, and as a parent, you know that. If you say this to your kids, it's not going to keep them from being afraid. All it'll do is make your child afraid to tell you that they are afraid. They'll be afraid to show you their real feelings. Instead of telling your child that boys or girls are never afraid, you should tell them that they have nothing to be afraid of. That'll help your child to feel safe, and you won't make them afraid to talk about their feelings. Number 2. You're not as beautiful, smart, or good as you should be. You should never tell your child that they're not good enough. For example, if your child is in dance class and they're not doing very well like the other kids, don't tell them that. Saying these kinds of things to your child will make them feel insecure and like they're not good enough. Instead, you should try to teach your child to love themselves exactly the way they are. Number 3. Stop crying immediately. Listening to your child can be incredibly annoying once in a while, but you should never tell your child that they should stop crying immediately just because it's getting on your nerves. Everybody has a right to cry when they feel they need to. If you feel like having a good cry, you don't want somebody telling you to stop, so why should you tell your child that? Also, shouting at your child because they're crying, it's only going to make them cry more. If your child's crying, maybe hug them. It'll maybe help calm them down faster so you can find out what they're crying about in the first place. When you're crying, you often want comfort. You don't want somebody coming up to you and saying, "Hey, stop crying immediately." It's not what you need when you're crying, and it's not what your child needs when they're crying either. Number 4. Why is it so difficult to… finish the sentence yourself? If your child is struggling with something, it's a bad idea to ask them why it's so difficult for them to do it, whatever it is. A statement like this will make your child feel unworthy. They'll begin to wonder why it is that they can't do what they're trying to do. In time, your child will start to feel afraid to try new things. It's a feeling that'll stick with your child forever, too. If you make a mistake or if you struggle with something, you don't want somebody asking you why you're having so much trouble with it. If you don't want to hear that from other people, your child certainly doesn't want to hear it from you. Instead of asking your child why they're having so much trouble with something, maybe work with them, help them do it. Help them do that thing that they're struggling with, or help them to learn how to do it better on their own. Not only will this give your child a feeling of accomplishment, it'll also make them more willing to try new things, and they'll open up to you when they do have a problem. Number 5. I can't believe you did that. If your child does something wrong, let them know what they did wrong and why it was wrong. The thing you don't want to do is make them feel like a disappointment. It's something that'll stick with your child forever. When your child feels that they've disappointed you, it can actually be damaging to their psyche. Subscribe for more.